Welcome back, family. Yes, we're back for another episode of O to Behold. So happy to have you here with me on today for another session. It must be Thursday because I'm here dropping another video. Hello to all of my holy rollers, my faithful subscribers. Thank you so much for continuing to watch week after week. And to my new viewers, those of you who are watching me for the very first time, thank you for being here with us. Also, if you have not yet subscribed, be sure to subscribe. I would love for you to join the Holy Roller family. So just make sure you hit that little button and subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you know every time I drop a new video. As well, like, comment, hit that thumbs up, and put your comments in the comment section because I'm so happy to engage with you. I love to engage with you when you put your comments in there. Thank you guys who are constantly every week putting in there things that you've learned or whatever you have garnered from the conversation. Thank you for putting those in there. I enjoy going back and forth with you in those comments. All right, before we get started, I wanted to make another announcement. So a couple times you've heard me maybe do a little snippet of a song or something, but my sisters and I, we are doing a concert, the Young Sisters. Can you see that? Yes, the Young Sisters in concert. That's going to be Sunday, August the 29th at 3:00 p.m. at Full View Baptist Church, which is on Memphis Arlington Road. You can check out our website for more information at LTY Women's Retreat. That's LTY Women's with an S, Women's Retreat, RETREAT.org to get more information. We also have a women's retreat that is coming up. We'll be celebrating 41 years, and we would love for you to be a part of that. Again, visit our website to get more information. Registration started on August the 15th for the retreat. It's only $25, so come and be a part of that, ladies. We would love to have you. All right, so let's get started for today's conversation. In today's conversation, we're going to talk about communication rules the nation. Okay, the caveat is effective communication. Okay, your communication has to be effective in order for it to be truly good communication for it to rule the nation. I never forget when I was in barber school. Believe it or not, I am a master barber. I don't practice at this time, but I do have my license. I was we were in class and we were having a conversation, and I heard this one of my classmates say, communication rules the nation. And I had never heard that before. But he's right. If there is effective communication, I don't care on what level, whether it's with the president of the United States, with other nations, whether it's just with friends and family members, if you can effectively communicate, you are people are better able to understand each other. You're better able to interact with one another when you're able to effectively communicate. And people don't understand that communication is beyond just talking. Okay, people think just because you're talking, just because there is a conversation back and forth, that is communication. That is a form of communication. But when you're looking for effective communication, people have to understand your point of view and what you are trying to communicate, and vice versa. You have to understand what they are communicating to you and understand their point of view as well. So a part of that, and a lot of what we talk about is in relationships. In relationships, there's a lot of relationships have ended because of the lack of effective communication, that you don't see my point of view, I don't see your point of view, or we can't agree to disagree on a situation. And so, everybody's just back and forth with each other. Okay, but you have to be able to effectively communicate with one another in order to get through tough times, in order to get through hard conversations. I talked about hard conversations just a few weeks ago in a video. You've got to have the hard conversations, and in order to get through those hard conversations, there has to be effective communication. And a few things that you can do to make sure that you are having effective communication is active listening. Okay, active listening, not just listening, because you can listen, but not actively listen. I know there are times when I may have been talking to somebody and they are multitasking. They may be hearing what I'm saying, but they're not actively engaging and listening to me. They have not cut off the other distractions that may be around them. They could be texting or, reading or doing something else that makes you feel like they are not actively listening to what you're saying. So you have to become an active listener, setting aside other distractions, setting aside other things that may be going on, and engaging with the person that you are talking and communicating with. Okay? Active listening. You also have to have a mutual respect when you are trying to effectively communicate. If you don't respect the person that you're talking to, what they're saying is really not coming across in the manner in which they may be trying to portray it to you or state it to you, because there is a lack of respect. You already have an idea in your head of who this person is. There is a reason that you may not respect them. So everything that they say is going to sound off. It's not going to come across, it's going to come across in a way that you can't hear it properly, because you already have a jaded view of this person, because there is a lack of respect. So you need to make sure that respect, if you're really wanting to effectively communicate, you have to find a common ground and try to figure out how the respect can be gained for that person. I don't know if you need to pray for them, because sometimes that will help you get whatever it is in you out, so that you can are more able to have a conversation where communication can be effective. So, okay, there needs to be a mutual, not one-sided, there needs to be a mutual respect when you're trying to effectively communicate. Also, stop making assumptions. When we go into conversations, sometimes you already have played in your head what this person may or may not say. Okay, we can't assume what that person is about to say or what you think is about to happen in that conversation. And yeah, maybe this is how the person may respond to things normally, and so you're like, that's the expectation, but you cannot, you have to try not to make assumptions about how a person is going to say what they're going to say, or you can't assume how a person is going to be impacted or how they're going to respond to what you think they're about to say. Okay, so let's not make assumptions when we are trying to effectively communicate. Also, stop speaking out of emotions and feelings and saying things that you will regret later. I know I've done that before. You probably have as well, because when emotions are high, especially when you're having a communication that involves a person that you may care about, you love, whether it's a husband, boyfriend, girlfriend, a wife, spouse, your children, people that you are a close friend, people that you're closely connected to, emotions can run high, which can cause you to say and feel things, and it just bubbles over, and you end up saying things that you regret later, saying things that you can't take back. And as much as you may apologize or regret saying it, you can't take it back. So be mindful of your emotions when you are trying to effectively communicate, because saying the wrong thing will break that whole thing down. It will break down the whole conversation that you're even trying to have, because people will shut down on you if you say the wrong thing, if you trigger the wrong thing. And I'm going to come back with a video talking about triggers as well, how you can manage your triggers. But make sure you're mindful of the level of emotion that you emote when you are having a conversation, a passionate conversation with a person, because you do not want to, speak out of turn or say the wrong thing, which could, make things worse than what they already are. Okay, so be mindful of that. Also, apologize regularly. When you're trying to effectively communicate, sometimes you may have to enter a conversation with an apology. Maybe you didn't do what the person thought you did, but because that's how they perceived it, it's okay to say, hey, I apologize if you felt that I did this, or this is how something made you feel. I apologize because that was not my intention. And sometimes your intention is it may not have been your intention, but it doesn't take away the hurt or the pain or how the person interpreted what you did or said. So it's important to apologize. What is an apology? It's just saying, hey, I didn't mean it that way. I apologize. Will you please accept my apology for what I said, what I did, because that was not my intention. So that can sometimes set a better groundwork for the conversation that you may be entering in, okay? So apologize regularly, or be the first one. Don't wait for somebody else to apologize before you apologize. Sometimes you need to initiate that apology, okay? And then don't deny someone else's perspective or their experience or how they're feeling. You know, you can tell somebody, you know, you could be having a conversation and somebody says to you, well, you shouldn't feel that way. Or no, it didn't happen that way. Or no, you know, don't deny a person what they experienced. Don't deny them the feelings or the emotions that they may have had as a result of what transpired. That is the quickest way to really shut a person down. I know for me, don't tell me how I'm supposed to feel. If it made me sad, it made me sad. Now, do I need to stay there? No, I don't need to stay there, but don't deny me or tell me how I feel is wrong or the emotion that I may have had was wrong because you feel like it was wrong. No. Don't do that. You know, you have to acknowledge, okay, that made you feel that way. And, you know, that was your experience. You have to acknowledge that and to some degree affirm it, and not affirming saying that it was right, but affirming saying, I acknowledge that that's what you felt. I acknowledge that. And again, we go back to the apology. Hey, I apologize that you felt that way. But you do have to acknowledge a person's emotions, acknowledge that they felt that, acknowledge that they experienced whatever it was that they experienced to bring them to this place. So I want us we've got to do a better job of communicating. And just don't shut down and stop talking. Just because something has happened that the two of you may not be able to agree on, or a group of you may not be able to agree on, maybe you do need to stop talking in that moment. But don't just stop talking. Maybe you need to say, hey, let's take a couple hours. You know, let things kind of blow over because this is getting heated, or, you know, I'm feeling some type of way. Hey, let's take a few hours, or, you know, let's pick this up in the morning, you know, and let's not just, because we're not getting anywhere right now. So let's stop this conversation now and let's readdress this in the morning, or let's readdress this in a couple hours. And you don't need to let days and weeks, especially in any relationship, but a marital relationship or a seriously dating relationship, you cannot let a lot of time lapse between conversations, because that's how the respect is lost. That's how things begin to build, and before you know it, you're arguing about something else, and then you're bringing that situation into that argument because it was never resolved. Okay, you have to learn to resolve situations, and sometimes resolution means let's agree to disagree and let's move on. Okay, we have to maybe agree to disagree on this topic because we're not going to resolve it in feeling the same way or agreeing in the same manner. Okay, so we have got to effectively communicate, because communication rules the nation. If the Iraqis and the Jewish people probably communicated a little better, they probably could get along better, or be able to work through some of the issues that they've had for centuries. Even family members, things have happened from decades ago, but because they have not been able to come together and actively listen to one another and hear each other's feelings about a situation, for homes have been broken up, divorces have been had. People have broken up in relationships. Children have been separated from their parents separated from their children. because of the lack of effective communication. Y'all, we've got to put a stop to this. We've got to stop. We've got to get out of our comfort zone, get out of our way, our own way. We've got to get out of our hard-heartedness. We've got to get out of our pride, okay, to be able to talk to the person or the people that we need to talk to so that we can move forward. Life is too short, y'all. Life is so short. People are dying every day, not just because of corona, but car accidents, heart attacks, cancer, strokes. People are dying, young and old. So we don't have a lot of time to waste trying to be prideful, trying to be, set in our own ways. We need to learn how to talk and bring ourselves back to a place where we can be in community with one another, where we can be in communion with one another, where we can love one another, even though we may be different, even though we may think differently. It's okay, y'all. It is okay. We don't all think the same. We don't all have to be the same, okay? Let's learn how to talk. Let's learn how to listen. Let's learn how to manage our emotions when we have these conversations, okay? Let's learn how to apologize regularly. Let's learn how to stop making assumptions about things, okay? All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me for another to Behold conversation. Just so glad that you are here, and I hope this will encourage you to maybe step out and talk to somebody that you may not have spoken with, or you all are on a bad page or whatever. You may even need to get a third party involved to help you navigate the conversation that needs to be had. But the conversation needs to be had. It needs to be resolved, okay? Thank you again so much for joining me. If you have not subscribed, be sure to subscribe to this channel. I'd love for you to join the Holy Roller family. Share this video with others, and also like and comment, all right? Thank you again for being with me, and until next time, God bless.